Welcome back to another episode of Becoming an Online Sales Queen. I am super excited to introduce Kat, who is the anti-hairdresser. I will let her give you all of the context behind that. We're going to talk about what it means to build a 10K beauty salon, well, it was hair salon, and we're going to talk about how Kat has managed to structure her group so that it adds not just her expertise, but it layers on the expertise of a whole host of other people. So Kat, I am not going to try to introduce you because you will do so much of a better job than I will. Tell everybody who you are, what you do, all the things.
Hello, lovely humans. So I'm Kat. I am, by trade, I'm a hairdresser. I'm a hairdresser of 20 years. Back in 2021, we all had that traumatizing experience, right? We've all got that story. And I've been freelance for just shy of 10 years. And I realised that actually I had no control of what I was doing. I lost an entire column of clients 6 months in advance. I was booked up. And I realised no one was going to rescue me apart from me. So with my newborn baby, I created a business that allowed me to earn, in my best months as a standalone freelance stylist, 10K. My standard was 7.5 to 8 on part-time hours with a newborn and an 11-year-old at the time. And I had that epiphany. I'm very much a feminist. I won't go into it. You know what that means. And women don't have this information as standard. It isn't given. It's a very weird industry, hairdressing. And so I realised that other women needed to know this so that they could have control and, social media and marketing and pricing structure. So I wrote a program, I wrote a course, and I support other hairdressers, predominantly mums, because that's the language that I naturally talk, to do the same so that they can live the lives that they want. They say they want, and then they go and do it. And I find it's a privilege to work with these human beings. And so that's a little brief insight into my insanity.
Oh, amazing insight. So, you're virtually 10 years into your journey.
Yeah.
You've made more money per month than most freelance hairdressers would make. And I'm sure that we're going to be able to unpick a little bit of how you've managed to do that and how you're able to now support other mums to do it. So I'm really, really excited to have this conversation with you. So let's just start with the anti-hairdresser, because if people are going to come and look you up online, which I know that they will, I'm going to put all your details below in the show notes, but your handle is the anti-hairdresser. So tell us a little bit about why the anti-hairdresser.
So the industry is 84% women. Okay, and I don't know the stat, but I'm going to say over half of those women are mums. Yeah. And industry standard is late nights, every Saturday, no flexibility, your needs are put second. And then if you kind of look at the majority of people within that industry, they don't have weekends and flexibility because they've got children, And so I am obviously, I'm anti-establishment, I guess.
Anti-everything.
I won't swear. I'm really trying to not, I'm like, right? But yeah, I just believe that actually you can be successful. You can build the life that you want. You can be home for bedtime if you want. If you don't want to, that's also fine. But if you've got the tools, you can make those choices. So I'm anti what the industry says you have to be successful.
Yeah. And I think, just for the record, just to put it out there, I actually think that we all need to be a bit anti everything. Yeah. In that if you're not anti, if you don't challenge, if you don't look beyond what's fed to us, actually you could be missing so much of life, of business.
100%.
Of everything.
What's that phrase? If you stand for nothing, you stand. If you stand for something, you stand for nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That bit out, but yeah, absolutely, you have to kind of lift the curtain, scratch the surface. It's very easy to say yes sir, no sir, but that's not where the magic really happens. I said yes sir, no sir for a bit and I call it plodding.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can,
Yeah.
plodding's great, but
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I've done my fair share of plodding. I had 17 years, as you know, in one company. And at the time, you could have cut me open and I would have bled the corporate colours. I was
yeah.
through and through the company girl. And now when I see like old colleagues that I used to work with who are still there,
Yeah.
I kind of feel a bit sorry for
Sorry for them. Yeah,
them.
like who are you? What do you stand for? What are your values? So I can tell who people have been with, like in the industry, by the way they talk, by, the phrases that they're using. It's just like you're just sort of, I'm sure you can as well,
Yeah,
right? You just
yeah,
pick up the phrasing and the terminologies of the people you're with because you don't know who you are outside of the lines.
yeah, 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 for sure. So yeah, I think, let's, for the record, challenge all the listeners. What could you stand for that's anti the norm? What is it that you believe that maybe you haven't put your hand up and said, hey, I don't agree with that. I want to be over here, even though over here might be a minority group, even though over here might be a bit like, ooh, look what she's doing, look what she said.
Absolutely,
So what?
absolutely,
So what?
absolutely. And dropping the opinions of others is huge. Like
Yeah,
they are a literal weight around your neck.
absolutely.
If you haven't got people looking and look at her audacity, you're not doing it right.
Absolutely. And I guess, like there's no other industry really more than hair and beauty which is going to have the whole comparison and judgment and side eyeing
It
each other.
it is savage. There's no other way to put it. It will chew you up and spit you out if you're not made of tougher stuff once you get to a point. Yeah, definitely.
So what would you say to girls who are, I mean, let's first of all talk about the girls who are, maybe new into running their own, whether they've got a salon, whether they're hiring a chair, whether it's a room in their house. Like, if they're in their first year, what would be your like best advice for them now?
Understand your pricing.
Oh, okay, that's step one.
Yeah, that is step one. That is step one. If you can learn how to market yourself, you can learn how to use social media, you can network, you can do all of those things. But if your pricing isn't right, none of it matters.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, I know my service is down to the penny, and as my clients will attest, I put my prices up annually, and that I know hairdressers that haven't put their prices up for 5-6 years. That's pre-COVID. And there's this thing, and I know it's heavily female. Oh, I'm not going to do that because I'm nice. Oh, I want to be approachable.
yeah,
That
yeah,
doesn't make you a nice person. You're not sustainable.
yeah.
Being nice is being able to say yes to your kids and paying your bills and not crying at night.
Yeah, yeah, and low pricing doesn't equal fully booked.
No, it doesn't. It certainly doesn't. And also, that price will push people away.
Yeah,
Some people want the most expensive. They don't even care. They just want to pay the most.
yeah,
So, but
yeah,
that's the mindset with money is so huge, and it's all very tied up in being a woman as well. Just say thank you, be grateful, and then you go to a salon that completely undermines who you are as a person, and it just reinforces that. It is quite a lot to unpick, but once you do, it's incredible.
yeah. Okay, so in their first year, pricing number one, which
Mm-hmm.
is then gonna, I guess, throw up all of those people pleasing boundaries. Am I worthy? All of that stuff.
I mean, I don't think that ever fully goes away. You just learn how to kind of look it square in the eye. You know, we've all got little gremlins. We've all got like little glitches in the system, right? And
Mm,
it is just actually, I understand why I'm feeling this. I understand where this is coming from, and it's not serving me anymore.
yeah,
And also, not all money's good money.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so when you're getting grabby with clients because you need the money, yeah, I mean that's a whole different conversation. So yeah, there's a lot tied up in it, but that is foundational, and that's the hardest step.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And I guess one question that I know if I was a girlie listening to this in my first like 1 to 2 years, hearing that it is possible to build a 10K income from hairdressing, I would want to know, like, well, once I've tackled my pricing and I've managed the gremlins and the boundaries, like, what do I do next? How do I, and obviously this is what you support your clients with. So I'm not asking you to give away the crown jewels, but what sort of steps would she need to take in order to get to where, you've been able to get to?
So social media and learning how to market, that was huge for me. Building your authority as an expert online in your field. What do people actually want to see to book in with you? Why do people book? It's psychology, as well. This, we're just selling different things, right? So it's understanding the human psyche and giving yourself the time and the space to get things wrong. So
yeah. One thing that I'm always actually talking to my hairdresser about, because she has got her own Instagram page. She is in a salon where she is employed, but the owner of the salon, who I know quite well, has brought in a tax guy, and he gave a little talk to all the girls about what it would mean if they went self-employed. So that some of them have got different terms in place. But she's always saying to me, like, how would I even know, like, what to post? Like, is it all about before and afters? Is it a bit about personality? Like, what should you be posting?
I think there's a stat that gets chucked around. Clients buy like 45% what you do, and the rest is who you are. And I'm pretty sure that's pretty much whatever industry, right? But yeah, I've got something going out later on today. If people don't know who you are, why are they going to pick you? We're human beings. We don't get on with everybody, and that's okay. But that goes against the grain of what we're taught. So yeah, absolutely. A little bit lifting up the curtain, showing them who you are, giving people an insight into who you are as a person. Because if you're not going to get on, why are you going to sit there for 3-4 hours? Well, so there's a degree of like openly salesy stuff, more who you are as a person, the word, like the copy, the wording as you go into yourself, and also the back end structure. Like, we're not taught to do that. That's not sexy. We're turning up. We want to look like the head, glamorous and whatever. Like, we can't do that. We can't do that. No, you absolutely need to. You need to stare at your numbers square in the eye and understand that. Having booking systems, having deposit schemes, having cancellation policies, all this really unsexy stuff that saves your ass. It's taking yourself seriously. You're not a hobby. This is your business. And it's that.
Yeah. That was actually one of the early lessons that I had to learn. When I first started my business back in 2016, I was like consulting, training, in small businesses. And when I was working out my income potential, I looked at a 5-day week and saw that my income potential was a 5-day week. Well, it isn't. And it would be exactly the same, running a salon, that just because I've got 5 days to sell doesn't mean I actually want to sell the whole time. Because if I do that, when am I going to do all the admin? When am I going to do
absolutely.
social media?
Yes, absolutely. And again, it's not taught. We start off as employed, and then we kind of go into employed using the blueprints that we learn in employment that aren't. You hated being employed. Why are you doing that? Somebody else paid you, and now you're. It doesn't match up, but that's what people do.
Yeah. I used to call it my corporate hangover, because like, I had all these like habits, which was fill your calendar. Like, don't leave any white space because people think you're being lazy. And so I packed my calendar, and then very quickly.
Did you burn out by any chance?
Well, I did find myself in A&E thinking I had like, all these headaches and stuff. I did hit burnout.
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing, I don't believe in being fully booked. I think being fully booked is the biggest lie.
Yeah.
Because again, when you're employed and you're fully booked, you're paying somebody, I get overheads aren't, actual margins are really small in salons. That it's not the huge money making scheme everyone thinks it is, but still, it's hard work being fully booked stylist. It's hard, and then to do that in your own business when you've got the control of everything else, it just doesn't match up. You can build the life you want. You just need somebody to say where you need to start, which is what I do.
Yeah. I would always say, like, put your prices up when you get to 80% of your capacity.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And then you can afford to shed a few.
Yeah.
And then I mean, I've had it when I've put my prices up and I haven't lost anybody, and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then I've done it and I've lost 5, 6, 7, whatever. So it swings and roundabouts.
Yeah. And so when you're helping your clients, your students, you are inviting them into a program called the Staff Room.
Yes, I am. The only staff room they're allowed in is a hairdresser.
And so tell us a little bit about that, because what I love about the way that you've structured your group, and obviously, because you're in my mastermind, like, let's just put that out there, right? We do know each other quite well.
Yeah.
I speak to Kat every week. She's in my mastermind. So we talk about structure and curriculum and, how to get people results. But one thing that you have done that's different, and I think better than most, is that you've added this layer of expertise that is bigger. It makes the whole program like bigger. So tell us about it.
So drawing back to something I said a moment ago, like, we start running our businesses, our self-employed businesses, with the blueprint that we got from employment, except we don't actually know everything that everyone else was doing. So we go into freelance, self-employment, and we figure out we've got these holes in our businesses that we didn't even know we had until something went wrong. Somebody else wrote the practices, somebody else wrote the policies, and now you've got somebody complaining and you've got nothing in place, just for example. And so I have group experts that come and teach within the group that fill in those gaps. So I have an HR and policies expert. I have like an admin expert that helps with, the unsexy stuff behind the scenes. I've got a mindset and burnout expert. So for those that are feeling absolutely burnt the F out, there's somebody to talk through like what you can do. Now that I'm on the spot, I can't think of any. I've got a fitness expert. Let's be honest. Sometimes when you're self-employed, you don't stop. And then, how to look after yourself, how to fuel yourself properly as a self-employed person. Most of my clients are sort of women 35 plus. Things are changing, so just looking after all those parts of you that you wouldn't do normally, really.
I love it. It's so good. And I can see why your clients get such great results in a program where they get access to that extra support, because
absolutely,
if they were in a salon, they wouldn't be like an expert coming in every week going, "Have you been out and done your steps today, girl?"
Exactly, like fueling your body as a 35-year-old woman about to go into perimenopause, or absolutely, like, there's so much support within the group, and I'm really, really proud of that. And then on top of that, obviously, I'm teaching social media and marketing. So it really is it's an all-rounder, but I'm really proud of it. And the women set my soul on fire.
Yeah, you should be proud of it. It's so good. So good. So one question I know I'm dying to ask you.
Oh God.
If you could only choose one social media platform, would you choose Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok?
Oh, right. It wouldn't be
a juicy one.
It wouldn't be Facebook. I'm only just building on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a pretty good following. I'm pretty good on Instagram. I'd say for ease, I'd go Instagram.
Okay. I think the reason I asked you that is because I know when I speak to, like other girlies who are location dependent in their business. So anybody that's meeting a client in person, I would call location dependent. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of belief out there that the best platform for location dependency is Facebook, because because of groups, because of, you know, locality.
Yeah,
but it's
absolutely.
just interesting to hear you say that actually that would be third in the list behind Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah. Well, mine just automatically goes over there. But yeah, you're absolutely right. People go to Facebook first to look for a local provider. Although the demographics are changing slightly. Facebook is kind of going to the older demographics now. And I see Instagram as kind of straddling between the two. It's new enough that you've still got younger people on there, and it's old enough that you've got the like older demographic as well.
It's interesting. It is interesting. And I know that there's a lot of talk, you know, in the online space in general about, you know, don't be on multi-platform, you know, just focus on one. But I'm a big believer, and I know you are too, that if you're creating the content, why not put it on more than one?
Absolutely. I do find that some content works better on other platforms.
Yeah.
So then it's easier to share. I find the content's easier to share from TikTok to Instagram than it is to go from Instagram to TikTok.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, we use repurpose.io to like fire things around. But you're right. Like if there is any kind of, because obviously, you know, we take off the little logo.
The watermarks,
But even if there's any hint of text or anything that's from another platform that's alien, you know, that is going to affect the reach, isn't it? Yeah.
Although then you'll get a curveball. Like I do test things out sometimes, and sometimes it is absolutely fine. It depends how funny. My funny stuff repurposed does no problems, but anything that's not funny doesn't travel well.
Are you funny? Are you funny?
Pardon?
Are you funny?
I might have been told it once or twice, Rach. I think flying close to the mark's probably more honest.
You are funny.
Thanks, babes.
Funny in all the best ways. Now, one platform that I see as just not caring about watermarks, text, or anything is YouTube Shorts. I can have posts on all the other platforms. They're all fighting about, you know, where my text came from, whereas YouTube Shorts is flying.
Do you know what? I've only just started on YouTube, so that's one of my things to tackle this year. But yes, YouTube Shorts. I can imagine. Well, they've got nothing to fight with, have they?
Yeah, and I love it for that. You know, they're not like criticizing you. They're not fighting with another platform. They're just going, we're YouTube. We don't need to do that.
Yeah, babes, I'm Google, basically. All right.
Yeah.
Easy.
Exactly. So, is there anything, I'm putting you on the spot now because I don't know if I asked you this before. Is there anything that you have as a free gift for the hair ladies that might be listening? I know that you have a free resource, don't you?
I do. I have an ebook, The Pathway to 8K. I also have the Hairdresser Personality Type. We actually created that together, didn't we, babes?
We did. In Dubai, nonetheless.
In Dubai. So I've got those two, and then obviously my YouTube channel, if anyone wants to go and watch me chat.
Amazing. Well, should we put those links below this
That'd be amazing. Yeah, absolutely.
Because I know, you know, given how funny you are and given how much money you can help these girlies make, why would they not want to come follow you and come and
Absolutely. Honestly, girls, make the fucking money. I've just had the best Wednesday ever. Go and make the money.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, why not? You know, because the reality is, if you don't make the money, someone else will. Yeah.
Hairdressing, hair and beauty is $1 billion industry. Billion.
Wow.
You know, and then there's people out there earning £1,200 a month. No way. You've just got to have the audacity to stand up and take it. And I will give you that audacity. And I will cheer you on.
Yes, you will. I love it.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I'm just over here having a little coughing attack.
You just do what you need to do what you do.
Have the paramedics running in a minute. So can we just talk for a minute about the mastermind and obviously
Oh, of course you can.
how we know each other? Because obviously you have been in a couple of my programs.
I've been in your world for about, what, 18 months now?
Is it that long?
Yeah, so it was not last November, the November before.
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh
and
my God.
I know. Like, I can't even process what I've achieved in that time. It's just insane.
That,
But yeah,
oh, that is wild. Well,
I know.
where we met was I had done a guest expert in someone else's
Yes, yes.
group.
So you were in a summit.
Yes. And so if that isn't a sign for people to go out and collaborate, like I think all too often people get caught up with, oh, I've got a small audience, my Instagram is growing really slowly.
Piggyback.
It's really difficult. Yeah, exactly. And yet we met, you're in my mastermind, here we are on a
Yeah,
podcast, and
yeah.
yet we met through doing that.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I mean, I know that you're an absolute champion of visibility, and same. If you're not seen, you can't get chosen.
yeah, exactly. You got to be in it to win it, right? And
100%.
if you're sat hiding behind your desktop, sat on your laptop bashing out a carousel for 3 hours, who's going to even know that you're there?
Exactly, exactly. Getting over the fear of visibility is also a massive one.
Yeah,
Massive,
yeah,
massive.
yeah, for sure. So that's when we met. That's how long ago
Yes,
it was, and
I
then
know.
you came and joined my Infinite Abundance
I
Collective.
did, and I hid for about 3 months.
You did. Why did you do that? Was I scary?
No, because I listened to the voice. I just got overwhelmed. Another part. I'm a big champion for neurodivergency. I am neurodivergent, and I let it overwhelm me for a minute, and then I was like,
Yeah.
"Do the thing, Kat. How dare you tell other people to do the thing while you're hiding here?" So, oh, lost an
Well,
AirPod. So, yeah,
I've
that's
told you
it.
the story, I think, before, haven't I, of the lady that she joined the same program. She had her onboarding call with me, and then I didn't see her for a whole year. And then
Hmm.
she came to an in-person event that I was running and sat beside me at lunch. And I was all a bit like, oh, I wonder why she didn't ever show up. Like, what was wrong with the program?
What did I do?
Yeah. And I said to her, I said, where were you? Like we had your onboarding call and then I didn't see you. And she went, Rach, you changed my life. That 45-minute call was enough to give me, like I knew exactly what strategy. I knew I needed to rebuild a couple of offers. I went away and I did it. And I now work half the amount of hours that I was before, but make the same money. Like she very much wanted the lifestyle,
Yeah.
didn't necessarily want to make more money. She just wanted to not work as much. And yeah, I never saw her for a whole year. Crazy, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I find that the in-person, well, the live stuff works really well for me. I
Yeah.
love meeting the other ladies. I've made real friends, and as an adult woman, I find that quite difficult. So I've made real friends being in your mastermind, and I've made money. I've learned so much. You've been absolutely key in the last year of my life. So
Oh, I love it. I love that message that you sent me the other week where you said something along the lines of, I might get this a little bit wrong, but you said something along the lines of, I'm achieving things now that like me
yeah.
a year ago couldn't have even like dreamt of.
Absolutely. Well, uh, to the day, a year ago, I still hadn't delivered my first course.
Wow.
So, now I've got a group and I'm doing wild things inside the industry that like happening
Yeah.
at the moment, which is really exciting. So
Yeah.
yeah, just put your name in the hat and see who picks you out. Just do as much as you can. And I think also we're kind of conditioned that if you ask for help, you're weak, you know,
Mm.
and there are people out there that know the answer. She's one of them. And, asking for help isn't weak. It's actually the strongest thing you can do. And it doesn't matter what level of help you're asking for, just taking the first step is absolutely huge.
Yeah, for sure. You're so right, and I don't think that gets spoken about enough. That
No.
that feeling of like asking for help makes you feel weak because I think so many of us have been brought up to think that.
Absolutely. I'm a big audiobook person, and this book encapsulated this perfectly. It's called Who Not How.
Uh-huh.
And it's about finding the who's that know the answers rather than focusing on the how. Because if you just focus on the how, you're just going to spiral. And whereas if you speak to the right who's that are good at what they do and want to support you in your vision,
Mm,
then it becomes so much more achievable to get there. So,
yeah,
you know, you're a who, I'm a who, everyone's a who to the right person. And it's a privilege to do that. And I
yeah,
don't take it lightly.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to be your who.
You are indeed. You are. You're one of me who's.
Yeah, and actually, you just talked there about like vision. One thing that our mutual friend Anne Louise said, who came to Dubai with us, she
Yes.
she said that one thing that always stands out to her about the work that we've done together is the fact that the role I play is to help you build your vision. And
Yes.
never once has she ever felt like I was trying to use her to build my vision. It was
No.
always about me supporting you to build
Absolutely. Like,
your.
what does your perfect day look like? What do you want to achieve? What do you want to get out of this? You
Yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
for it. Yeah, absolutely. You are a support.
There are so many mentors out there and coaches out there in all niches who want to see you build in the exact same way that they have. And
Could
it
you
doesn't
imagine
always
me
work.
build a business like you? Because this is not who I am, but you see that and
Yeah,
you get that, and I love that, and like that's what I like to do with my women. Like, what does your day look like? You know,
yeah,
don't look at her day, don't look at her business. What do you want? You
yeah,
know,
yeah. So important, so important.
100%, so
Because who
important.
wants to get to like, ripe old age and look back and think, oh, I wish I hadn't worked that many hours a week. I wish I hadn't given up, those days. I wish I hadn't, people pleased my way through life. We have to draw the line where we want to draw the line, whatever that looks like.
Absolutely, and absolutely, you need the space and the support of people like yourself to figure that out,
Yeah.
because so often, you know, you're not asked that question. Like, what do you actually want? And most people go, I don't actually know.
Yeah. Well, do you know what happens most of the time? And I have always said this through all my years in corporate, coaching my team. I had like a team of managers and then a team of
Hmm.
supervisors under them and then a team of staff. So I used to do a lot of one-to-ones, run a lot of team meetings. And every single time you ask, especially a woman, what is it you want? The thing she always replies with is what she doesn't want. And my husband does it too. He's in the next room. He does it too. What do you want? Well, I don't want that. No, no, I didn't ask you that. I didn't ask you what you don't want. I asked you
Oh,
what you
it's that.
want.
I mean, that's conditioning, isn't it? You know,
Yeah,
I can't be too loud. I can't ask for too much. I'll be seen as greedy. I'll be seen as selfish. I'll be. And I'm like, no, babes.
yeah,
No,
yeah. We've
no.
got to ask for what we want.
Otherwise, you're never gonna fucking get it.
Yeah, yeah. When I
Yeah.
was after our last strategy day, when we were ordering our breakfast, I remember Juliet said to me, the guy came over, it was like a menu breakfast, and I said, can I have that, but can I have avocado on the side, and can I have, I forget what it was now, can I have my egg, like that. And I
Hmm.
was very, I need this, I need this, I need
Hmm.
this.
Hmm.
And when he went away, she said, do you realize how infrequently I see women order food that way? Because you were very clear about what you wanted on your plate, how you wanted it. That was, you commanded your breakfast. And I was like, oh yeah, I suppose I did actually, but in quite a direct way, which
Yeah.
I have never really ever seen myself like that. I've always been a bit of a people pleaser in
I,
young life, but I think
I,
I think I'm cured.
I recovered people please. Well, yeah, recovering.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. Ask for what you want. Do you know my phrase for the year is closed mouths don't get fed?
yeah,
Like, be audacious.
yeah,
Be audacious. Because
yeah,
if you're not being audacious, like you're getting overlooked, and
yeah,
if you're being that loud, gobby, audacious person, people won't like you, but they're not your people anyway.
yeah. Totally. So the ladies in your staff room, that's like a gauntlet that you're throwing down. Ladies, be audacious, be clear.
Stand the fuck up.
Yeah.
Stand up and say it. Say with your full fucking chest what you want, because how is anyone going to give it to you if you're still hiding?
Yeah. Unapologetic, baby.
Look at me. I'm the anti-hairdresser for a reason.
Yes, you are, my love. And I am so grateful that you have given up your time today.
Thank you for having me.
And you're so welcome. I'm so glad that we've had this conversation. I'll put all your links and your little gifts that you have given everybody, those amazing 2 gifts that you shared, and obviously would drive people across to your YouTube, because we publish this on YouTube as well.
Amazing.
So we can all grow on lovely YouTube. But thank you so much. I know this is going to help so many people. So
thank you for having me, Rach.
Oh, you're so welcome. And those listeners who are here, that have been here for weeks, for months, you are a regular listener. I just want to say how much I appreciate you for listening every single week. And if you are brand new, make sure that you come find us again. Hit like, hit subscribe, tell all your friends. If you know somebody in business that wants to become an online sales queen, then she needs to come listen to this show. So let's spread the love as much as possible, and I will see you next week for another episode.